Hello, this is Father Rich, coming to you from the second floor hallway up in the rectory. And I'm here before some of the puzzles. You know, I've talked about some of my 3D puzzles in the past. But these are the ones from Harry Potter. And it's actually the main ones from the Astronomy Tower and the Great Hall. And the topic for today in the essays entitled for our series on how the church has changed the world is the church, mother of scholars. Kind of playing off of that alma mater Latin word we give for the universities and schools that we graduate from, which is called our mother, and this idea of the nourishment that our schools give us. But it really gives you a sense of maybe the medieval university that Hogwarts kind of gives you a feel for, the main dining hall where everybody would eat. The essay goes through, and the writer, remember Anthony Esolen, went to Princeton. And so you see in a lot of the Ivy League schools, as well as the classic universities in Europe, you think of the English Cambridge and Oxford, of which I'm sure Hogwarts had influence from there. And that's the Harry Potter, remember that's the name of the school, and Harry Potter, which this is a model of. It has the courtyard and the Great Hall and all that kind of stuff. But that kind of that Gothic look to it, architecture that we talked about a couple sessions ago. But he went to Princeton. So he talked about growing up at Princeton and going there and kind of this model of the old medieval universities that you kind of got a sense of there in the Ivy League schools, and how we wouldn't have the universities again if it wasn't for the church. And all the language that we use, and even the words, the discipline, faculties, the university is a word that we get from those first schools that the church started. So I think we can't quite ever appreciate it. We remember how they were the center of town. They were the town. And we get this in some of the university towns, but I don't think it has the positive impact that maybe we would have seen back then. It was the center of all activity. And they talked about how they would take weeks off to have these academic jousts, as the authors called them. These more than debates where the great intellects would get together and where people would defend their thesis, or they would go in front of the crowd and the masters that were there in the areas of the disciplines of that they were learning about and seeking to advance in, and how they would be thrown any question out in front of them, and how everybody would observe these people handling the questions, and how this was such a focal point. Really remarkable to hear those stories. But there's one paragraph here that I think really sums up the impact of universities and what our church has done in bringing universities and this whole kind of concept of approaching truth to our world. And so this is how it goes. But that grand coming together was not, strictly speaking, the invention of man. It was made by God, this coming together being the university bringing people together. In the hearts and minds of men, united by a longing to know him. It wasn't just that the church happened to invent the university. Only the church could have invented it, because only what God reveals to us has the power to elevate and unite all other fields of study. That doesn't mean that there is one astronomy for Christians and another astronomy for others. It means that in the nurturing haven of a true university, the study of astronomy bears upon other studies and assumes its just and subordinate place in relationship with the handmaiden, philosophy, and the queen of sciences, theology. So this idea that all of the study of truth, seen in the sciences, in the disciplines of the other faculties and arts and letters, it's all leading us to God, and whether we recognize it or not. I've said the beauty of Catholic education is that we can integrate all of this moving towards the same thing. We've talked about this in other essays, as opposed to dealing with them as mutually exclusive and all kind of seeking their own truth, which really is not an integrated, healthy approach when it comes to knowledge and truth. And so I think the thing that the essay challenges us to is to bring back this classic model of university and to see that working together, giving places where people can work on the whole person and grow. Yes, in their understanding of a specific academic discipline, but how that all fits into their life and their relationship with God and understanding God and seeking to serve Him. For a while, Catholic universities really put their Catholic identity on the back burner because the academic standard was considered that was a compromise and that would somehow limit the academic experience if you bring your Catholic identity into it. The new approach is to say, no, you can't, put that off to the side. That is at the heart of learning and who we are, and how can we kind of disintegrate or separate those things out and not have them working together. So we pray that we as a Catholic Church can reinforce and bring back together that concept of helping the whole man be formed and learn when it comes to the experience of university, and not just trying to focus on one aspect and one discipline that's not related to others, and just to grow in that area, but yet not have all these other important elements of the human experience be neglected. So we hope that universities can reclaim that. We're thankful that the Church truly is the mother of scholars, and we pray that we can renew our integrated approach to truth and understanding as those first early medieval universities showed us. God bless. Thanks for joining me. Have a great day.